When I was born into a Catholic family that we grew up in Catholicism. And then it got to the point where as I started getting older and I started getting more curious and I started learning more things, I started straying away from the faith. And then I started leaning on my own understanding, if you will, and starting to think that I had things figured out in a way that I was atheist at first, and I started kind of becoming open to the fact that there could be something out there, but I wasn't in any way a person of faith. I was not a man of faith. A year or so leading up to my motorcycle accident, I had recently graduated from law school at Florida National University, and I had just recently passed the bar examination. And I was just driving to work, and it was just a beautiful day. And I was going through an intersection, and I had a green light, and I saw a car coming up, approaching the intersection, and they ran through the light. And they ran through the light, and they hit me, and I flew. And I sent soaring through the air and crashed into the concrete. And when I slammed into the ground, I could feel and hear a very large audible snap. I could see all the blood that was in me leaving me, and all I could do was just try and breathe. I didn't have the presence of mind to understand that I was dying, but I could see that that was happening. I was just doing all that I could to try and stay calm and breathe. I was put into a medically induced coma. I had no idea about what was going on while I was under, but I remember waking up. I pulled the blanket back and I could see that my foot wasn't there, and I could pull it back and I could see that most of my leg was gone. There's just so many emotions, you know what I'm saying? So many emotions. The gratitude of being alive, just the beginning of recognizing that I was gonna not have a leg and not even understanding what that was gonna entail. It wasn't until after I got released from the hospital. And I had a good friend of mine, and she asked me if I would be willing to go to church with her on Sunday. And I remember going there, and I just remember going to the church and walking through and then hearing the worship music. And worship was a life-changing experience for me. I didn't know what was happening. There was a movement in my heart. God was letting me know that He was the one with me at all times. I just kept going. I just kept going just to feel that feeling, of what I was experiencing. And I remember that I went to church on a Sunday. It was December 26th. It was the second sermon of church where I recognized that all this had been building up for this moment, that I had all this faith and I had all this love that had been pouring through me, and I just had to make it official, that I had to declare my love for the Lord and do so publicly in a way that I can't go back and I can't second guess it anymore. That I had to just be so grateful that the love of the Lord has moved through me, to have the opportunity to express that. And it was just the decision that I had made that I'll be grateful for the rest of my life and for eternity. Walking into Bayside and feeling the experience even before the music, even before I got to hear the music, because I walked into this church a non-believer. You see the smiles, you feel the presence of the Lord, you feel the Spirit. Instantly, I just felt like I was at home. Bayside has been incredibly life-changing for me. It has helped me to find God and to answer the call and to be able to experience the community of fellow brothers and sisters of Christ.
When I hear a testimony like RAFAEL'S, it just gets me so excited about all the other RAFAEL'S that are out there, all the other people that God has called us to reach and the rest of His kingdom that He's called us to build. Yeah, here at the Fruitville campus, one of the obstacles we have is our parking. We've seen in several of our services where people have pulled up and they've left because they couldn't find a parking spot. And when I think about a story like that, it just crushes my heart, because I think about, what if that was RAFAEL? What if that would have been an individual that was, God was preparing their heart to get them ready to walk through the doors of the church, to be able to have an encounter with Jesus, to be able to experience the love of Christ, and they didn't get to do that because they had to turn around and leave because there wasn't enough parking spots. So for me, it just makes me think about, what are the other obstacles that we may be facing at different campuses that are keeping us from being able to build the kingdom the way that God's called us to build it. And so what can we do to be able to remove those obstacles to reach more people? when we hear a story like Raphael, that's what our giving is truly going towards. It's going towards building the kingdom of God. So as we give generously and we're able to accomplish these projects that we have before us, we are truly getting to see the impact that it makes, and it's changed lives. Raphael's story, he went on a journey. He's still on a journey, right? But he surrendered his life to Jesus Christ. And I can't think of a greater investment than being able to give through the Kingdom Builders offering, because we know that that investment, it's investing in people, which is investing in changed lives, which is building the kingdom of God. And it just gets me so excited to think about the impact that our offering, that our generosity through the Kingdom Builders offering gets to make in people's lives.